and welcome to another Technique Tuesday. Myself, Steve Gordon, I'm going to just show you through what I feel is a common issue that I see when people are overhead, either in jerk, long cycle, sometimes a little bit in snatch, but also just generally some of the other kettlebell movements that people are doing when they go overhead. And what that is they're not quite balanced enough. So what I mean by that is kettlebell sport in particular is a cyclical sport. So it means we're doing the same action repetitively over and over and over again. So we need to make sure that each one of those movements is as efficient as it possibly can be to sustain the level of work that we want to get over that given time period, whether you might be doing 1 minute sets all the way up to 10 minutes and beyond. We want to be as efficient as possible, and that comes through a different way. So if we look at efficiency, one is metabolically, so i.e. we don't want to be expending as much energy. We want to try and conserve our energy so we can go for longer periods of time. So if you're really tense or having to work really hard from the first rep, how long are you going to be able to sustain that for? Possibly not as long as what somebody might be able to if they don't have to work as hard. And that can be just about the next piece of the puzzle when it comes to efficiency, and that is the path of the kettlebell. So what do I mean by that? If we want to go from A to B as quick as we possibly can, we're going to go over the shortest distance. And that's the same with our kettlebells. We want them to go in a path that's going to get them from point A to point B as quickly, as effectively for our energy levels and what sort of the nice straight line, biomechanically, what's best for our body. Everybody is unique and individual in their own ways in terms of limb length, the way the shoulders are made up, the way the body's made up. So this isn't a hard fast rule, but generally speaking, from what I see time and time again with my own guys and at competitions, is generally speaking overhead, people internally rotate, i.e. the thumb comes in and the kettlebell's over on one side. So what do I mean by that? So what I mean by that is they come overhead, they're in the rack, they jerk them up and the kettlebells are really rotated. So the elbows are pointing outwards, okay? Even if they've got locked out, they hold the kettlebells on the inside of the arms. Okay, so as they drop, they really have to turn their arms and then they bring it down. So they come round and then they come down. Come round and then they come down. So my point of view from this, why this isn't the best way, is because if we just put our arm overhead and we just turn our thumb facing in, then we point it back, in, back, and just keep doing that over a period of time, we can start to feel our shoulders really starting to work. And the size of our shoulders, our shoulder muscles, are not really designed to be doing a lot of work in terms of internally, externally rotating work when it comes to air weight, when it comes to that. So we want to try and make sure that our shoulders are just stabilising the weight. They're there just to stabilise the force of the weight of the bell. They're not there to try and alternate and change the path too much when it comes to overhead work, specifically in jerk and in long cycle. Now the reason why I say those two specifically is because unlike snatch, we can't rotate our body too much. So when we're in snatch, we can rotate there and then we can pull the shoulder back, which is going to aid us. When we're in doubles, when we go overhead, there's no real rotation there. We are literally just traveling straight up, straight down. So there's no rotation to help us what looks like a lot of rotation. So what we need to try and work on, a little rule of thumb that I try and work on, and some of the guys when I first started off in my kettlebell lifting journey showed me this, and it's just really stuck in my mind. A little general rule of thumb I always try and encourage my guys to do is I want to try and get the kettlebell handle out to 45 degrees, there or thereabouts, okay? Some people can really internally rotate it. I prefer to have it a little bit 45 pointing outwards. And the reason for that is when I've got both kettlebells here and I go straight up, I know that the kettlebell's going to be going in a straight line straight up, straight down, and it's going to be evenly balanced, okay? It's going to be a little bit of rotation, so say if I'm here, I'm going to be coming here, but I'm not all the way pinky finger turned right out. I want to try and maintain that 45-degree angle, so what you want to try and think of is your elbows are pointing forward or off to around about up to 45. They don't want to be greater than 45, i.e. pointing out to the side, okay? Because again, that is when the weight is going to be too heavily distributed to the inside of my shoulder. So some of the key things that you've got to try and work on is when you're in rack, we want to try and get the handles so they're parallel or turned out slightly. Okay, then when we go up, we want to try and make sure that's going up in a straight line. Remember, when it comes to efficiency, the goal is to go from point A to point B as quick as we possibly can and in a straight line. Okay, that's more biomechanically better, it's more efficient for us. Okay, generally speaking, again, I know a lot of you are going to be weird and wonderful and previous injuries are going to prevent this, but just as a general rule of thumb, something to try and work towards is just trying to go in a nice straight line, okay? So we're going to go from point A, point B, but the kettlebell hasn't really had any other force gone onto it apart from it just going straight up and down. There's no big rotation. It's not like it's coming around and then it's coming here. It's literally, I'm in one position, the kettlebell's fixed, and it's going straight up. Okay, so that's generally the rule of thumb that I'm looking for my guys, and that's what, if you've got any questions or if that's something that you want to be working on, let me know. But that's it for me from Technique Tuesday, guys. Hope you take a lot from that. Until next time, take it easy.